Okay, so where's the Zoom call? All right, guys, so it looks like there's only 4 of us here. I have a lot of information I'd love to share with you guys. I've been someone who has built my business basically through my sphere. You guys, can you guys talk with me here? I don't want to just talk to myself for half an hour. You guys please chime in. Let's see here. So how do I share my screen? This is the fun of doing business on Zoom. I've taught a lot of classes. I have not taught a lot on Zoom, but I believe we can figure this out. So where is screen share? Somewhere. Am I sharing my screen now? I don't think so.
No, I don't see your screens.
Share screen, okay. Okay, so what I wanted to talk to you guys about is how to build your business with your sphere. Now, basically your sphere, your database become the same thing. So I want each of you to tell me how many people are in your database. If you do not have a database, I want you guys to all do this. I want you to get your phone out. I want you to go to your contacts in your iPhone. Okay? If you scroll all the way to the bottom, it will tell you what's going on here. It will tell you how many contacts you have. So, Yuna Tada. How do you pronounce your name?
Yes, Yona.
Yona.
You got
How
it,
many
yes.
people does your phone say you have?
My phone says that I have 2,148 contacts.
That's what I'm talking about. That's great. What about Chamberlain? No. Okay, Hope? How do I unmute everyone? And Santiago? Nobody? Yona, might be me and you today. So that is that's your database, right? That's the size of your database currently. Do you use a CRM, Yona?
CRM?
Yeah, basically a database manager. It's a client relationship manager, I think is what the programs are called. There's a million of them.
Oh, no, I don't use those.
I believe we have one through Command now, through Keller Williams.
Okay.
But the point is, it's just anything to help organize your database. So you have over 2,000 people. How do you communicate with them? Do you have any kind of organization to them, an Excel file, anything?
Yeah, a lot of people are on my I'm trying to add them on my Facebook, so
Okay.
that way I could, stay connected with them.
Very good. Very good. Yeah, that's part of what we're going to go into here. So I'm going to jump around a little bit here, but I want to make sure to get to some of this. You need to communicate with everybody. Doesn't matter if it's someone you only talked to a few times or you haven't talked to them a long time, or if it's someone that lives somewhere else. Even people that live out of state, I call them and I've referred agents to them. And how long have you been doing this for a while, Yona? It's pretty standard that you get 25% referral fee when you refer business to another agent. So there is the magic sentence that everybody needs to know. And it's who do you know that is interested in buying, selling, or investing in real estate that I can call today? And let's see if I can get that to you here. I'll get to this other screen. We'll figure it out. I wanted you guys to know that there are important things to practice in terms of scripts. I have a script that I've learned and memorized from this video that I want to share with you guys.
I don't know, I guess I just haven't found.
Okay, so
By the way, if you want any of these links or attachments that I have here, email me thedanielpaz@gmail.com and I will forward you all this info.
created a new script and I'm going to try it out. We'll see how it goes.
Hello?
Hi, is this Donna?
Yeah, this is her.
Hi, Donna. This is Aaron Lewis with the Lewis team. I see you
Hi.
just barely signed up on our WeWorkHarder.com website to see the full details on all the homes for sale in the Central Valley.
Yeah, I'm still on there.
Excellent. As a courtesy, I'm just calling to welcome you, let you know I'm a real person, and to see if you're finding what you're looking for on the site.
Yeah, the site's pretty useful. I found it on Craigslist, and I can expect to see a lot of big pictures of the houses, so it makes things easier.
Right. Everyone wants big pictures. Do you have a good sense of what you're looking for yet?
Yeah, I think I know what I want.
Okay. Have you made any offers to buy something?
No, not yet.
Why not?
I don't know, I guess I just haven't found anything to make an offer on yet.
Okay.
Or every time I call, they're pending.
Yeah, that happens. Let me ask you also, are you committed with another realtor as well?
No, I've talked to a couple, but it's mostly just calling off signs or something, and usually the properties are pending, and it doesn't really go much further than that.
Yeah. Well, I know how you feel. It is kind of a frustrating market. What I've found in working with hundreds of buyers over the year is that by their coming into our office, they were able to get a better understanding of what's really going on in our market, find out where the opportunities are, how to avoid common mistakes other people make, get financing recommendations, and help them know what to expect. And like in your case, you mentioned a lot of properties that are pending. So that's something also that we can avoid. And the reason I offer this to my clients is because they found it's answered a lot of questions for them and helped to reduce the confusion and frustration that are often part of the home buying process. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. How long would something like that take, and does it cost anything?
Right, great question. It's a complimentary advisory appointment, and it typically takes about 30 to 40 minutes. And
Okay.
I work primarily based on appointment, but I'm looking at my schedule. My next two openings are tomorrow, Friday at 3, or Monday at 4 p.m. Which one's better for you?
I'm actually off tomorrow, so I can do tomorrow.
Okay, great. And then let me ask you, Donna, is there anyone else that's going to be part of the home buying process that maybe should be here too?
No, it'll just be me.
Okay, great. And then do you have a pen and paper handy? I can give you our office address.
Yeah, I do.
Perfect. It's 2051 Geer Road, spelled G-E-E-R, Road in Turlock. It's on the corner of Geer and Pedris. Do you know where that is?
By Donley Park.
Yes, exactly. Right near there.
Okay.
And then what would be a good number to reach you at just to confirm the appointment in the morning?
You can call my cell phone. It's 239-994-2927.
Great. And then also, do you want me to email you a reminder along with the office address, the appointment time?
Yeah, that would be great, just in case.
Okay, perfect. Is your email the one that you entered in when you signed up?
Yes, that's the correct one.
Perfect. Well, Donna, I'm looking forward to meeting with you tomorrow then at 3 o'clock.
Okay, perfect. See you tomorrow.
Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.
So what did you think? Feel free to let me know in the comments below. Thanks.
All right.
That was
So
a
what did you guys think?
Well, for me, like I've never heard of this word, like complimentary advisory appointment. Is this the same as buyer's consultation?
Yes. Look, it's all in the way you sell it. So when you
Okay.
say, let's have a buyer's appointment, that may sound abrasive to a buyer. But if you say, it's a complimentary advisory appointment, sounds like you're meeting with a professional. So
see.
that's why he says it that way. I think a lot of this script is really, really good. He's using it for people that register on his website, but you can use it for anybody. I've used it anytime I'm talking to anyone that's thinking about doing anything. I jump right into basically this part right here. You can see my screen, right?
Yes, I can.
So what I've found from working with buyers over the years is that by coming into the office, they're able to get a better idea of what's really going on in the market, find out where the opportunities are, how to avoid common mistakes other people make, get financing recommendations, and help them know what to expect. That's really important because you're giving them value, that there's a value in meeting with you, okay? The next line right here I think is huge too. The reason I offer this to my clients, so the reason I think this is amazing is you're already referring to this person as your client, okay? So you're future pacing and setting them up with the expectation that they're working with you already, okay? I found it answered a lot of questions and helped them reduce confusion and frustration. Does that make sense? So it sounds like, wow, there's a lot of value I'm going to get out of this. It's going to help me, especially if you're working with buyers right now. The market is insane. Have you guys been seeing that? Well, I don't know if you guys are working with anybody yet. Yeah. I don't know if you guys have been showing houses. I don't know how long you guys have been in real estate. You don't know how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this since last November.
Okay.
So this is my first year. And I do have like one active buyer, but it's this is our like 4th month we've been looking for a house for her. I have a partner, her name is Elise. We are in a team in KW, and our client has a budget of like 550,000, so it's challenging for us to find a house.
It's extremely challenging. That price point is really tough, but I'll be honest with you, even at $1 million price point, it's really tough right now. It's very, very competitive. And the only way to get anywhere is you need more clients, more, because that way you get, you know, some will close on some deals. So that's kind of the point of this talk today, is to increase the number of people you're working with. And the way you do it is by lead generating every day. Those 2,100 people in your phone or on your Facebook or whatever, you have to call, you have to decide what you're going to do. Okay. You got to decide what you're going to do to communicate with these people on a daily basis. Okay. When we talk about a database, there's 4 steps typically. You need to build it, organize it. Okay. First of all, this script is awesome. There's a lot more things we can get into with it if you'd like, but I can also just email it to you, and I can email you that link. Memorize this if you can, because it's gonna be beneficial. So you want to build and organize your database. You can organize it any way you want. I use this, and I'm going to implore you to do it. This is something I learned in a class called Never Ending Referrals. And as you can see, it's a 13-week cycle. Every week, you're going to call and out of your database 2 letters of the alphabet. So week 1, you're going to call A and W. You can do this any way you want. I just do it this way because this is the way I saw it, and it really doesn't matter. So you might as well just use it. Right? Like, who cares? You can do whatever letters you want, but this one's already written down. So fine, I'll follow that one. And most of them, as you can see percentage-wise, most of them are pretty evenly distributed. So maybe that's how they chose it. But basically, week 1, you call everybody, whatever days of the week, let's say Mondays and Tuesdays. Well, honestly, back when times were normal, Mondays was me following up with all the people I met over the weekend at open houses and other events I did. And Tuesdays, I would usually do this. The part of the reason this works is because every 13 weeks, you start over, right? So week 14, you go back to week 1. Now, there's 26 letters of the alphabet. There's 52 weeks a year. So if you do, so that would be, you would call them twice a year if you did it 1 letter a week. But since you're doing 2 a week, you're going to actually communicate with them at least 4 times a year, okay? Every 3 months, which is pretty much perfect. So that's if nothing else is going on. You know, obviously you can communicate them if you're communicating with them regularly anyway. But this way, you stay in touch with everybody 4 times a year, which feels non-aggressive to them, keeps you top of mind to them, and it just keeps you disciplined as well. I know that the worst thing I can do is if I miss a couple weeks is not getting right back on track. You know, don't be too tough on yourself if you miss it a week. Just get right back on it. I don't have my calendar here, but if I showed you my calendar, you would see these 2 letters on every Monday, and then it starts over, and then it starts over, and then it keeps going, and then it starts over. So this is huge. I've also done this with my Facebook. I probably shouldn't share my Facebook because who the heck knows what could be on there. But but I've created groups. I probably should share it because I can show you. Oh, I don't know how to share it on here because this is not my computer. Okay, let's go back. How do I go back?
Stanley, I have a question. So when you started to be a realtor, you started with the sphere of influences, and you're still doing this. You generate businesses from this way.
This is my primary source of business. Now, here's the thing. My sphere was only people I knew, right, friends and family before. But as I've done this, so I don't know if you heard the important question that I said you need to ask. This is the question every single day that you need to ask everyone. Who do you know that is interested in buying, selling, or investing in real estate that I can call today? So that is a way of asking for referrals. If you don't have, do you have that written down somewhere? If not,
yes.
Okay, so you know that sentence. So that is your way of getting more people. As you get more people, you add them to your sphere, right? And it continues to snowball and grow over time. So yeah, they're all people I know, but there's people that you continue to know. If you take a great realtor and drop them in a new city where they don't know anybody, not counting during a pandemic, because it's really hard to meet new people in a pandemic.
Yep.
But if you're in the normal times, that agent will create a large database in a short amount of time. You go to events, You go to social gatherings, you go to local things, you become a member of the community. You want everyone to know you, and when they think of real estate, to think of you. That is part of the reason these 2 letters a week work. All you're doing is staying top of mind, so that when their coworker says something about wanting to move or buy a house, they say, oh my God, you got to talk to Yona. She's my cousin and she's awesome. And, now, by the way, when you ask for referrals from these friends and family from your sphere, you always ask them, hey, would it be all right if you gave me their contact information? Why don't you ask them, can you give me their contact information? And the reason you do that is if they give the person your information, they're never going to call you. Even if they want to call you, because they wanted to call you, then a day passed, then 2 days passed, and 3 days passed, and now they said, well, now I waited too long and it's going to be awkward. So you take the control when you have their contact information, and it's huge. So please do that always. Okay. Next thing I wanted to say is I was very lucky when I joined Keller Williams. The first thing I did as a new agent was I took Bold, which, they have like a virtual Bold. I don't know anything about that, how they're doing that. But I don't know if we're ever going to be normal again, but if we are and we have meetings again in person, I can't recommend enough that you need to do Bold. If you've been to our office, Yona? I'm sure
Yes.
you have since November.
Yes.
The big red wall has all the Bold, what are they called? Bold.
Yeah, those like quotes, right? Like,
Yeah. What are they called? The Bold Laws. They're called the Bold Laws. So
yeah, that's right.
So one of them is that I want to talk about is if it's not on your schedule, it doesn't exist. So you have to create a schedule and hold yourself to it, because the term that we use is called time blocking. If you don't time block for calling your sphere, calling your database, you will never grow it, because what happens is, by 11 or 12 o'clock, you're already in the weeds. If you are working with any clients, you're already dealing with, putting out fires all day. So you need to create this habit now, so that when you do get busy, you still have the habit, because anything is a habit. Even not doing something is a habit. So get in the habit of doing it and create a calendar. This is the calendar that I was using for a while. I'm not sure what's on it, but let's find out together. So as you can see, oh yeah, I was crushing it at that time. I was getting up at 5 a.m. But my coach at the time said, people that want to make as much money as you want to make, Danny, wake up at 5 a.m. So I said, okay, I better wake up at 5 a.m. So then I work out, eat, you put everything on here. And as you can see, calls in green every day from 9 to 11:30, right? Now, if I remember correctly, everything in green was stuff that makes money. That's something we did in Bold. We made everything in your calendar green, yellow, or pink. Yellow was stuff that somebody else could eventually, I think, do for you. Pink was stuff that only you can do, right? Like no one else can work out for you or eat for you or shower for you. So you have to do that on your own. My point of this is create a calendar where you block off time to do your lead generating. Right now, in this situation, the people that call their sphere have a supreme advantage, because for a while there, before the pandemic, I would talk to people in my sphere and they would say, well, I met 5 agents over the weekend going to open houses. There were 1 million new agents every day getting into the industry, and they were everywhere. And now those of us that are hanging in there have an advantage because those people are all dropping out of the industry because they're not working their sphere. I'm telling you right now, the market is a lot of fun if you're working every day.
Okay.
Have you guys, Yona, you said you're working with one active buyer. Hope, it sounds like you've unmuted yourself here.
I am messing up. I'm
Huh?
gonna come back.
Oh. Okay, I guess she didn't want to be.
Oh, I think that was not me. That was someone else.
Okay. Anyway, the point is, where was I? Right. If you're calling around and you're getting in front of people and you're staying top of mind, you know, it's shocking. So I've been calling my database and they say, are you serious? People are doing real estate right now? And I say, it is bananas. And the reason is that I tell people is money's free. Money's free right now. Rates are lower than they've been in the history of America.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're under 3% interest rates, they're basically lending you the money for free.
Mm-hmm.
And you need to focus on that when you talk to people about what's going on. First of all, right now you can call everybody and just check in with them. How are you holding up? What are you going to do with your kids? Schools are closed. What are we going to do? Is this going to be for a long time? Just want to check in on you. If you need anything, you know, these are the types of conversations you can have. If you ask them how they're doing and you get interested in them, they're going to ask about you. And that's when you tell them about real estate and what's going on and how amazing it is and that they better get into owning properties. If they already own a property, you ask them if they want to buy an additional property, an income property. You can do that locally. You can do that out of state. You get referrals on that. Like I said at the beginning of this, I call all my out-of-state contacts as well as my in-state contacts because you can refer them to an agent and the agent will give you 25% referral fee. If you've never done that, I can show you how to do that. But basically, there are a variety of ways you can do it through Command or Kelly or whatever. But the way I do it is there's a Facebook group called KW Referral. And there are thousands of agents in every city in basically the world, it seems like. And if you talk to someone that wants to buy a house in Montgomery, Alabama, or whatever, all you do is you go in the group and you say, buyer, Montgomery, Alabama, and within like 10 minutes, 10 people are going to message you and tell you they specialize there, and then you pick one of them and you refer them out. Be careful who you refer out. Try to get someone that you talk to, that you vet a little bit, that you think will click with your clients, because if they don't treat them well, that looks really bad for you. So you got to make sure you vet them as much as possible, but there will always be a couple slip-ups anyway. But that's how you can, you know, even work with people out of state, as I was saying. Let's see.
So when you give them a referrals, do you normally just give like one agent or a few agents, and they interview a few of them and they're the one who's gonna, like, you know, decide who to work with, or you just give them one agent?
You know, you could do it either way. I personally pick one because you want the person to feel like you're confident in the person that you're referring to them. It might be safer to give them a few to interview themselves, but depends on the personality too of your friend or family member or whoever it is that you're working with. Because, you know, they might just want, if they're a new first-time buyer, younger person, they're going to want someone to help lead them. they won't know how to interview agents. If it's someone older that's done a lot of real estate transactions in their life, then yeah, they might want to interview the agents because they'll have a better understanding of what's worked with them in the past,
Okay.
if that makes sense. Okay, let's see here. This is a script we were using for a while. SOI sphere is sphere of influence. So that's what that means there. This was something we were using for a while, this script. You're probably wondering why I'm calling. I'm calling for two reasons. First, I haven't done a good job of staying in touch with you, and I'd like to change that. As you know, I work in real estate here in the South Bay, and there's currently only 2 months of real estate available. Basically, all the homes will be sold in 2 months if no one else builds a house or lists a house. That's actually, that's true, right? So there's not enough houses to go around for more than a month or two at this point. So I've decided to call everyone and ask, who do you know that wants to take advantage of this market and sell their house before the end of the summer? The second reason I'm calling is what I'm doing for my clients and friends and family is I keep them informed of anything that affects the value of their home and investment opportunities out there. I do this every 90 days, and I want to know if you'd like me to keep you informed as well. So this is a script I used for a while. It was effective. Here's the thing. All scripts are effective if you use them. Okay?
Practice them.
Use any script. Just use it. Right? So the point is call people, stay in touch with them. But this worked. You can see why it works, because people are like, first they'll be shocked that there's such limited inventory out there. If they're not currently looking for homes or trying to sell their home, they won't know this. So you're letting them know that. Tells them also that the value of their home is probably much higher than they thought, because prices have been going up like crazy. And then you're asking them if it's okay for you to stay in touch with them. That I'm assuming 99% of the time going to say absolutely. Something we did for a while too is you can do some targeted sphere targeting. All you got to do, if you go on Realist, you can see what properties they own, or if you know their address, you can email them and say, here's a link to the current, I've been reviewing the value of your real estate holdings, and this is what I found. Click the link to see. So you can either put it in an attachment, you can just save in the email, or you can put the link. If you use the link, it's better, because a lot of the time it'll tell you, depending on what kind of CRM you're using, if you're using one, it'll tell you if they click the link or not. But the point is, you can do this with 5 or 10 people in your database every day. All you do is do a quick CMA analysis of the value of their home and send it to them, and they might be shocked, or they might say thanks for letting me know, or they might decide to sell. So that's something I definitely recommend.
So it's good. We offer when we talk to them, I tell them we can let them know. I mean, we can provide them free market evaluation, and then we go to MLS and then prepare CMA and email them the link so that they know the value of their properties.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
I never done this, so I'm gonna start doing that.
Look, I mean, I have this. I don't even know if this is working that well, but this is in the body of my email. Clearly, it goes to my website, goes to CMA, and they can find that, and that's in the body of all my emails. But yeah, I mean, that's part of what you can do. You're a professional in this industry, and you can give them advice of what's going on and what their home is worth, right? That they might not be able to to fully analyze, or they use Zillow estimates or Redfin. And you can tell them that even the the CEO of Zillow, he sold his house for less than his Z estimate anyway. So those are marketing programs. All they're trying to do is get people to use them, call them, and spend their money there and their time there. Something else I recommend using that I started using, I created this. It was actually a recommendation or inspiration from an agent here where he said everybody's going through a funnel that you're working with, right? Clearly the end of the funnel is closing. But basically, you don't have to do it like this, or if you'd like to, I can email you this, but I just made this on like Paint or whatever. But you go from not met, you qualify, you meet with them, they get pre-approved, are they actively looking, are you sending offers, any offers get accepted, then you're going through inspections, negotiations, repairs, and you close. So this is good because it gives you a visual of where your business is right now. If you're talking to a bunch of people, you need to push them down the funnel. If you got a lot of people here and nobody up here, you're screwed. You're going to go through this peaks and valleys situation. You need to always continue to feed this funnel as you work people through it. The peaks and valleys that I'm talking about is something that happens to a lot of realtors where you're working, let's say, with 1 or 2 or 3 people, and you're just spending all your time on them. You're not time blocking. You're not calling new people every day. So when they close, then you have nothing, and you start from zero again. And that's what you want to avoid. You need to continue always adding to your active buyers and sellers that you're working with.
Yes.
So that was most of the stuff that I wanted to cover with you guys. Let's see here. This is the PowerPoint that they provide, I think, for this class, but I don't know what's in it, and it seems frozen. You guys seeing this?
So like when we do like lead gen, which like we've been calling our friends and family sphere of influences, a lot of times like we have the most of the leads that we find, it's a buyer, and then like a lot of time like a objection is like, okay, they want to wait and see because they all believe that prices will go down. How would you handle that type of like objection when you talk to people?
Well, there's a lot of ways to handle it, and you handle it the way that you see fit. But one way to handle it is I say, I have friends that were going to buy 3 years ago, and they decided not to, and everything has gone up 25% since then. So if you want to potentially make the same mistake, you can do that if you'd like. Another thing I would say is you can wait. Prices will go down. I'm sure they will, and I'm sure it'll be when rates go up. So in the end, your monthly cost is going to be the same, because if rates go up, what's the difference? Right now, like I said, you can borrow money cheaper than you'll ever be able to borrow it again.
Yes.
It's nuts. So what I always recommend is, especially to someone like that, is I always recommend buy something you can afford, okay? Because as long as you can afford it and you're not trying to flip it in a year, it doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah.
So it really doesn't matter what happens with prices. If you can afford it and you're not planning to sell it in the next year or two, then it doesn't matter.
Right.
Just do it. Get in the game. The hardest home to buy is your first. Once you buy your first home, everything becomes easier because you use that money to buy the next one. Right?
Yep.
So that's 2 things. So One, people have thought the market is going to crash for a while, and it's not happening. So
Mhm.
we've thought for 5 years, it's going down, it's going down, it's going down. It's not. It just kept going up. So who knows what the heck's going to happen? No one knows what's going on in this world. Who thought in the pandemic housing prices would go up? So,
Yeah.
I don't have a crystal ball. You don't have a crystal ball, but we both know people that are wealthy own property. If you want to be wealthy one day, you have to own property. Waiting is not in your interest unless you're going to do something crazy and get some kind of crazy loan that with a balloon payment. You just don't worry about it. Just buy it, man. I mean, they're never going to be disappointed that they own a property,
Right.
right? So tell them, yeah. There's another objection that is important to handle when you start working with a buyer. You're doing your buyer consultation or your complimentary advisory appointment or whatever you want to call it. Tell them that just because it's the first time you're looking at homes doesn't mean you're not going to find the right home the first day you go look. So get them prepared that just because you just started looking doesn't mean it's not the right house.
Okay.
Right? Because you don't want to be showing houses for months and months and months. I know you are right now, but you'd rather not. Have they made any offers, Yana?
Not yet.
No offers.
No offers. Okay. Like twice we showed twice probably, but at the end they don't want the house. They all they look good on MLS or pictures, but once we go in there, like they don't like it, so they didn't even want to write an offer.
Because for $500,000 here in the South Bay, you get garbage.
Yep.
I know. I have buyer. Look, I'm working right now with 3 buyers. One's looking for $550,000, one's looking for $1.2 million, and one's looking for $2 million. It's like 3 completely different markets. And it's
nice.
All of them are competitive, believe it or not. It's crazy.
Wow.
So, look, you have your inner circle, you have your sphere, and then you have everybody else. By the way, on Facebook, I use the same 2 letters a week. So if you go to your Facebook, let's see if I can sign in here. Oops. How do I get rid of this thing again? There we go. If you go to your Facebook, you can't even see all your friends. Try to see all your friends. Click on your friends. You can't see all your friends. It's the craziest thing. This is not my Facebook. Oh, this must be Keller Williams' Facebook. Let's see. Maybe I can do it on here. See, it says 840 friends, right? But if you go on here, look, they're not in alphabetical order, and it's not all of them. So the only way to do it is you create a list, a friend list, and then you can, oh, this is a weird kind of profile. If you create a friends list, then you can add anyone to the list. And what I've done is I've created lists based on those 2 letters a week. So every time I have a new friend or whatever, I add them to whichever list they belong in based on this. Then when it's that week, in addition to calling, is I go on Facebook and I click on those 2 letters and everybody comes up based on those letters. And those are the people. And then you comment on something they posted. You send them a private message. That's the best. Or you just interact with them, because by interacting with them on Facebook, you will start to pop up on their timeline more. That's kind of how the algorithm works.
Yep.
So what do you do on Facebook to engage, Jenna?
I always drop comments on my friends' postings and so that whenever I post, it shows up on their timelines, right? As long as you're like, interacting. So that's what I'm trying to do every day. I
Now,
at
how
least
do you get to the people that aren't on your timeline? How do you find them? How do you find the friends that you don't see? Because you only see a few people on your timeline.
right. So like sometimes like when I have an extra time, I go to my contacts and try to like, it's a lot of work, but go to like each one of their timelines just to see if I'm missing anything.
Right. So
Instead of
that's very good. So you have to do something, right? So that's a good way to do it. This is the way I do it. So I just open up these lists and then everybody's there and I just go kind of one by one. Now, when you post, it's important to post something that engages people,
Mhm.
right? So there's a lot of people posting stuff like, hey, the world is crazy right now. Why don't you please post the last picture you took of something blue? And people, for some reason, are going crazy with this stuff. Because
Yes.
everybody's bored. People want something to do. And then when people post, you like and comment on their comment. So that continues the engagement with them. But the most important thing is staying top of mind with people, making sure they think of you when they think of real estate, and that's it. That's basically the most important thing. Also, when you are working on real estate, it's a really weird thing that happens. The energy of the world, man. When you are working and lead generating, you might not get one lead directly from the lead generating you're doing, but for some reason, someone will call you about real estate that you didn't even call. Just because when your mind is in it, that's the way the world works. It's just a fact. It's the weirdest thing.
Yeah, that's a great advice. Like a lot of times, like, frustration, like, okay, like, a lot of buyers wants to meet. And then like, sometimes why am I calling all these people? Like, okay, I'm not getting anything right away. But yes, we all need to remind that it's all about energy. So it'll happen when it's time.
You got to do it. And you got to tell your drunk monkey to shut up. In Bold, we talk about the drunk monkey, and the drunk monkey is the voice in your head saying, oh, this person doesn't want to talk to me. I shouldn't call them, blah, blah, blah. You got to tell that guy to shut up and do it anyway, because that guy's always trying to protect you through fear and being safe. And being safe is not going to get you anywhere.
Right.
All right. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I hope you got some information that was useful. Let's see here.
Great. Thank you so much, Danny. This is very valuable. I appreciate it.
Thank you. If you want any of that stuff, just email me and I'll email you back. My email address is thedanielpaz@gmail. So THEDANIELPAZ@gmail.com.
Gmail.com. Will do. Thank you so much again.
Thank you, guys.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.